afternoon. My name is Victor Schiller, and I'm an anatomy and physiology instructor at Lakeshore Technical College and your Master of Ceremonies today. On behalf of the faculty and staff of Lakeshore Technical College and the Board of Trustees, welcome to the December 2018 commencement ceremony. This commencement marks the 89th graduation Lakeshore Technical College has held here since this Cleveland campus opened in 1974. Over 31,000 people have earned their LTC degrees since then. Today, you graduates join the ranks. Getting to this moment right now required a lot of work from you graduates, but it also required a lot of work from the LTC team. Let us take a moment to recognize some members of LTC in attendance who help us get to graduation. First, the Lakeshore Technical College Board of Trustees. Each member of this board is deeply committed to student success and is the mechanism by which the interests of our communities are reflected in these halls. If the members of the board could please rise as I read your name and remain standing to be recognized for your service and commitment to LTC. John Lucas, the board chair from Manitowoc. Roy Kluss, vice chair from Sheboygan. Don Pullman from Plymouth. Jim Parrish from Waldo. Kim Rooney from Manitowoc. Vicki Hildebrandt from Kiel. And we also have John Wyatt from Plymouth. Thank you for your dedication to LTC and our communities. We are also honored today with representation of the LTC Foundation, an independent organization which provides support in the form of student scholarships and funding for new facilities and programs. Over the last 5 years, the LTC Foundation has quadrupled their scholarship funding, over $278,000 in student scholarships last year, and is on track to top that amount this year. Trig Jacobson, would you please rise to be recognized? Trig Jacobson, representing the LTC Foundation Board of Directors. Next, we are pleased to have LTC graduate Darren Mank join the stage. Darren, please rise. He has completed the business management program and is the student speaker and representative of December 2018's graduating class. On stage, we have James Lemerin, Vice President of Instruction, and Polly Apps, Vice President of Student Success. And thank you for your service and commitment. Finally, I would like to introduce you to our president, Dr. Paul Carlson, who is responsible for all college operations. He leads a dedicated, student-focused team of 400-plus members who each make significant contributions to the education of the nearly 11,000 students served by the college each year. We also welcome Ms. Jill Beekle, who is serving as our sign language interpreter this afternoon. Now it is with great honor I call upon LTC's Criminal Justice Student Color Guard to present the colors. Following the presentation of the flags, please remain standing as Tegan Gonzalez, an LTC Criminal Justice Law Enforcement student, sings our national anthem. Will everyone please stand?
detail, halt. Front, face. Order, arms. Precinct, arms.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hid at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the brave and the home of the brave?
Order, arms. Forward, arms. Colors, host. Left, face. March on, march. Left, 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 right. Forward, march. Left, 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 right. Left, 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 right.
You may be seated. At this time, I would like to invite the president of Lakeshore Technical College, Dr. Paul Carlson, to the podium.
Thank you, Victor. Good afternoon and congratulations, graduates. This is my favorite time of year because commencement reminds me of how proud I am to live here in this community alongside all of you. Commencement refreshes my belief in progress and reminds me how great our country is. In this country, how you fare in the lottery of life need have no bearing on the path you take. You can be born into poverty, and through education at a college like Lakeshore Technical College, you can arm yourself with the tools needed to progress to the highest professional ranks. As open access institutions like this, we are uniquely American. Whoever you are, whatever your background, wherever you're from, all are welcome to learn here. And learning is something you all have done. You all have learned inside the classroom, and you've learned outside the classroom if you've lived your life. Celebrate what you have learned so far, but never cease in your pursuit of knowledge. While we recognize we live in a great country, we must never lose sight of the fact we also live in a great world. If we watch the news or read the paper, we get bombarded with never-ending bad coverage, continual bad news, nonstop partisan bickering. We get little snippets showing us that the world is a scary place. Talking heads tell us the gap between the haves and the have-nots is getting wider, and that the third world is falling further and further behind the developed world. If we're open to learning new things, we can see this is a skewed view. In fact, the reality is all of humanity is advancing and progressing at a phenomenal rate. Here's some stats for you. Since 1800, the average life expectancy has gone from 31 years to 72. The share of adults who are able to read and write has skyrocketed from only 10% to 86%. In 1893, there was only one country where men and women had an equal right to vote. Today, there are 193. Since 1970, the share of people who are undernourished has plummeted from 28% to 11%. Since 75, we have seen the share of school-aged girls who actually enroll in school jump from 65% to 90. In 1980, no one had access to the internet, and almost no one had a cell phone. But today, right now, 48% of people have regular access to the internet, and 65% have cell phones. These statistics aren't just for America or North America or Europe. They are for the entire world, all of humanity, the entire collective. These statistics tell us that the arc of history is bending towards progress. But I assure you it has not been bending by accident. People who came before us shaped this progress. They worked tirelessly in countless fields under a common belief that we can do better. And they were armed with the knowledge needed to make progress a reality. One of my favorite quotes of all times is from James Madison, the fourth president of our country, and he said, "Knowledge will forever govern ignorance, and a people who mean to be their own governors must arm themselves with the power which knowledge brings." Through your education here at Lakeshore Technical College, you have armed yourself with the knowledge needed to be your own governor. The ball is now in your court to assist in the rapid progression of all mankind. If that charge seems overwhelming, it should, but such is the burden you bear as college graduates. Your contribution can be small or massive, but you need to contribute. And I know you will. And I know whatever you contribute will help someone, somewhere, progress somehow. So humanity is excited to see where you will take us. And I guess on behalf of all of humanity, congratulations and thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Carlson. I'm very pleased to introduce today's keynote speaker, Trig Jacobson. Trig Jacobson grew up in the advertising business. His father was a cartoonist for the Saturday Evening Post, and his mother was a writer and studio artist. Together, they launched Jacobson Advertising in 1957. In 1981, Trig officially joined the agency with his new partner, John Rost, grew the agency to become one of the finest agencies in the Midwest. In time, it became a real powerhouse with household brands like Swiss Miss, Culver's, Leinenkugels, Sargento, Fisher Nuts, Kimberly-Clark, and many more. Trig and his wife, Anne Marie, sold the agency in 2010, and with Steve Meck from CSA Commercial, he then started Jake's Cafe, Wisconsin's first creative co-working community. Jake's Cafe is located in the former agency offices in downtown Sheboygan. While running Trig's Cafe is Trig's primary responsibility, he also is a brand consultant and works with many of Jake's Cafe members. He is a good friend of LTC and serves on the LTC Foundation Board of Directors. Please welcome Trig Jacobson.
What a joy to be here. And what a gorgeous day. I'm looking out here and I'm seeing all these families and grads. I was asking, how many grads do we have today? And Dr. Carlson had said, well, we've got about 180 to 200, but we have 100 here. And I'm trying to think, gee, if we'd had the full 200, I don't know if we'd be able to all fit in here. We might be outside, and that would be pretty cold. I love this time of the year, I guess for many reasons. You get these sunny, winter days, and the families are coming together. You're getting your last-minute shopping, and here all of you are graduating. And I would guess as you walk out today, that stress that you had to carry with you coming into the last few weeks is going to be gone, and now you can sort of settle in to what it is that you want to do. But what I really love about winter is just sort of being inside, being where it's warm, and lighting the candles and getting a fire in the fireplace and getting ready for the kids to come home. And I can see a lot of parents out there. Some of you are hoping that your kids are going to come home because you already had some grads. And some of you are going to be getting together for Christmas as well this year. But it's a time of the year when I reflect back and I look at my own childhood, and I remember my father, and this is at the age of about 7 for me, and he's thinking, you know, Trig's sort of getting to that age, maybe there's a kind of rite of passage now, and I think that he's earned the right to start the fire in the fireplace. And I'm 7, and I'm thinking, wow, this is pretty cool. Well, I'm not even so sure that I need help from my dad, because I've seen him do it many times. And I'm thinking, you know, Dad, I got this. I got this. And I took a log and I put it in the fireplace. I crumbled up some newspaper and I stuck it under the log and I lit it. And about 30 seconds had passed and the paper burned up and the fire was out. And I tried it again, and 30 seconds later, fire was out again. Father saw my frustration, and he said, Trig, it takes 2 logs to build a fire. And he took another log and he put it on, and he let me crumple up the newspaper and tuck it in between the 2 logs, and I lit it. In about 3 to 4 minutes, we had a really nice fire going. Dad was like that. He grew up on a farm, and you know, little lessons like that. It takes 2 logs to build a fire was not just about building a fire. It was about life lessons that had to do with people, had to do with relationships. It takes 2 logs to build a fire. Well, he was a wise man, and he had all sorts of quips, things that you learn when you're growing up on the farm. And I remember one time he said, Trig, you know, life's not always going to be easy, so you got to learn how to roll with the punches. You know, you got to roll with them. And this one I never forgot. I thought it was sort of humorous when he told me when I was about 9 or 10. He said, Trig, you know, you're going to get into fights at school every once in a while, but don't get in a pissing match with a skunk. I got a pretty big kick out of that because I wasn't used to my father using those kind of words. But one of the things that he also said to me that sort of stuck with me at the time was, Trig, if the floor needs sweeping, pick up the broom. Don't just let it sit there, pick up the broom. But the one that really made a difference was, Trig, whatever you do in your life, do it with enthusiasm, like you mean it, like it's worth it. Because if it's not, don't bother doing it. Do it with enthusiasm. Well, years later, when I had graduated from college, and I remember walking off the stage and I was coming back to see my dad, and we walked by the dormitory together, and like dads do, he put his arm around me and he said, Trig, when are you coming home to join the family business? And I had to sort of think for a little while. I said, Dad, I don't know if I'm coming home right now. I think there are just some things that I got to learn on my own. And I could tell that he was hurt. You know, he wanted me to come back. And he said, Trig, if you're going to climb a mountain, make sure it's high enough. Because you might not get a chance to climb that second mountain. And, you know, over the years, you know, you have a lot of mountains to climb. We all do. It's not just one. You know, it's a lot. But what I learned, it's not necessarily about how high a mountain you climb. It's more about how you climb the mountains, the kind of person you are as you're learning to climb it, the kind of person you become as you're climbing it. Well, you know that my dad was in the ad business, and I spent nearly 30 years in the ad business after he had left. And we had one job, and that job was to help our clients project a trustworthy brand, trustworthy products to their clients. And the reason is because people put value in what they trust. They put very little value in that which they don't. So it's all about trust. It's about building trustworthy brands. Well, people are brands too. You know, so it wasn't really hard for me to share with my family what I was learning and applying at work. So at our dining room table, it wasn't just about eating, It was about teaching our children, my 3 daughters, about the importance of character and building trust. So our dining room table, it was a special place. My wife, she took the time to make it special. You know, it was getting the girls together to set it right, nice cloth tablecloth and cloth napkins, and she always made a good home-cooked meal. But it was never done until the candles were lit, you know. And you know girls, well, you know young girls, and matches, and boy, being able to light the candles was just as much a rite of passage for them as it was for me to be able to light the fire in that fireplace. Well, the thing about the fire and the candlelight is it made the dining room table warm, to create a sense of safety, a kind of community for our family. And it was a place where they knew they would always be heard, you know, and what they said would matter. It would matter. And so we had a lot of great conversations that would take place around the dining room table. And it wasn't just about what happened at school or, you know, boyfriends and all that kind of stuff. We took time to discuss the deeper things, the important things, the things that were important as they were going to be growing up, you know, in their lives. And even at the ages of 9 and 7 and 5, you know, you could still teach them some very important lessons. And quite often I would give my daughters a little pop quiz, you know, just to go around the table to make sure that they were getting it. And my oldest daughter, Kira, she would sometimes roll her eyes when she saw the questions coming, like, "Oh, Dad, really? You know, we're going to do this again?" And I would say to her, I'd say, "Kira, what is the most important attribute, what's the most important trait you are going to learn in your life?" She said, "I know, Dad, to be trustworthy." And I went, "Why?" And Lizzie, my middle daughter, she'd chime right in. She'd say, "Well, because people put value in what they trust, don't they, Dad?" I said, "Yeah." And Christiana, she's my little 5-year-old, she'd say, "Yep, and they put very little trust in what they don't," you know. And then I would say, "Well, how do we go about building trust? How do you build trust? How do you become trustworthy?" And Kira would say, "Well, by making promises and keeping them, Dad." I go, "Yeah." And Lizzie would say, "And never making a promise you can't keep." And little Christiana, she always knew what to say, and she'd say, "And you always keep your first promises first, don't you, Dad?" I went, "Yeah. You always keep your first promises first." I don't know, you know, if necessarily my wife and I were the perfect parents. We screw up in a lot of things. I mean, we all do, you know, and kids don't come with an instruction manual. But I think that the one thing that we did get right was that part about trustworthiness, teaching our daughters to become trustworthy young ladies, women with integrity. And I think sometimes, you know, if we were to examine ourselves, if we look at ourselves, we are really a sum total of the promises that we make and the promises that we keep. And what a joy it is when you can look at a sister, a brother, a parent, a friend, a coworker, and see them as a trustworthy individual. But how great and what a joy it is when you can look at yourself and you can say, "I'm trustworthy. I know that I am trusted." So years ago, Christiana, when she turned maybe about 17 or 18, she's my youngest, and she comes into the den and I'm working and she's crying. I go, "Christiana, what's wrong?" And she said, "Dad, the boy that I really, really like, just asked me to homecoming." I'm thinking, okay, what's wrong with that? She said, "I already said yes to somebody else." I said, "Christiana, what's the rule? She said, I know, Dad. First promises first. Right, Dad? I went, yeah, right, Dad. Kira and Lizzie and Christiana, they eventually all graduated from school, and they went on to have successful careers, all different, doing different things, different cities. One went to Manhattan, one's in Denver, and the other's in Minneapolis. And sometimes we think, gee, where do we go wrong? Our girls are all gone. We don't know if they're ever going to come back. And they left all this stuff behind. My wife and I still go through it. I know that some of you parents deal with the same thing. Your kids leave, they graduate, they go off, they start their own lives, but they still leave all their stuff. What are you going to do with it all? Well, they left a lot of stuff at the house as they've been climbing their mountains, but the one thing they didn't leave behind was their character, their personal integrity, the trustworthy character that we instilled with them at a young age that has presented lots of opportunities for them in really exciting careers. The opportunity to build strong relationships, find good young men, and know how to measure the character of a good man. So in the last year, 2 of my daughters, they entered into what I consider as a father, one of the most important promises that they will ever make in their life. And that's their wedding vow. And I hope and I trust that the men that they've married, that they've been brought up in such a way that they will know how to keep their promises as well. That they will take their wedding vows as seriously as I trust my daughter will. Well, last month, Lizzie, who's now been married about 3 months, she's pretty sure she's got it straight now. She's a pro. She sends me a picture, and it's a picture of a dining room table. And the beautiful tablecloth, and she's got the plates, and she's got the candles lit. She says, hey, Dad, we're gonna do the same thing in our house. Well, Kira, she's the older sister. She's not gonna be outdone. She and her husband, they decided to start a whole candle company. And so she says, hey, Dad, will you take 2? And I said, heck with 2, I'll take 50. We're going to get a real roaring fire going here. And I look at my youngest daughter, Christiana, and she's now dating a pretty nice guy, and I would guess within the next year, well, Lord willing, who knows what's going to happen, but she may be finding herself getting married too, and our family will now, within a year and a half, be twice the size as it was. I don't know if in years to come, that you're going to remember exactly everything that I've said today. But I do hope that somehow I've instilled in something in you that will make you remember how I made you feel about this moment, about this time, about family, about trust, about integrity and personal character. The kinds of things that as you're climbing your own mountain really matter. So tonight, when you go home, I guess I'd propose that maybe you light a candle at your table, maybe even light 2. Make a promise to yourself to always keep your promises and to keep your first promises first. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Trig, for your commencement address. There is a member of each graduating class selected to be student speaker. Graduating students are recommended by their faculty and participate in an interview process for the honor of being selected as representative of their peers at their graduation. Darren Menk of Manitowoc is a graduate of our business management program. Darren is a member of Phi Theta Kappa and maintained a 4.0 grade point average throughout his program, landing him on the dean's list each of his terms here at LTC. Darren was raised by educators who moved around the Midwest and helped him develop his love for learning. He holds degrees in education and music and has many interests, including gardening, This fall, he planted over 800 bulbs in his yard and looks forward to seeing them bloom in the spring. He also enjoys playing several instruments and skydiving. He has worked in a wide variety of industries and roles, from teaching in the inner city to managing apartment buildings to driving a forklift. Earlier this year, Darren underwent shoulder surgery and more than 5 months of recovery. He made a point of making the most of his time by visiting all but 2 of our state parks. He is an adventurous man and a lifelong learner, and he plans to continue his formal education in management and administration. Please welcome Darren Menk.
Greetings to you today. To our college president, administration, the LTC Board of Directors, Mr. Jacobson, instructors, family members, guests, and you, my fellow members of the graduating class. As you heard, my name is Darren Menk. I'm part of the business management class, and I am honored to be speaking for the graduates today and for our school. At one of my jobs, I am often asked, "How tall are you?" Let me explain. I stand behind a counter at one of my jobs, and there's a platform of 6 to 8 inches more. So I seem like a giant to most people, especially small children. And so I am often asked, "How tall are you?" Today I would ask the same question of everyone here. How tall are you? When we started kindergarten, we knew some letters, some numbers, but the rest was quite a mystery. But with practice, those letters turned into words, those words turned into sentences, which turned into paragraphs and stories, and all of a sudden we were reading. And those numbers that seemed so random, when put in lines, became other numbers, and became even more numbers, and soon we could do complicated equations. We were on the top of the world. We felt tall. But then came high school, and everyone else seemed to know where to go, which hallways went where, and remembered their locker combinations. Others could figure out all the tooling and the safety procedures. Some could calculate in algebra and geometry. Others could take those black dots and turn them into beautiful music. And still others could understand that language the instructor was using. And then those speeches, terror. But as we grew and gained more experience, we got taller. We knew exactly what to do. And with instructor help, we graduated once again, and we were again on top of the world. Then came entering a college. Which program should we do? How will it go? And again, we felt small. Once we started, we had new names to learn, new programs to accept, challenging classes, and busy schedules. It was hard to fit everything in, much less time for family, friends, and ourselves. And for those of us who are older, we had Blackboard to learn, how to conference on Skype, preparing a resume, and preparing that portfolio. We just had never dealt with anything like that before. But with hard work, practice, and help from our instructors, encouragement from our family and friends, we were tall once again, and again successful. I invite everyone else here, family, friends, and guests, to consider the same thing. When you deal with failures and frustrations, embrace education, and though you'll feel small for a while, you will climb and feel tall once again, and look back at the successes you've accomplished. And now, my fellow graduates, we are ready to face a new career. Are you ready? Will you feel small? It's a perfectly natural feeling. But we've prepared for it before in our lives. We're ready, we can do it. Lakeshore Technical College has given us the skills that we need. We've prepared numerous projects and many assignments with success. We have been guided, even pushed sometimes by our instructors, to learn more, to experience new things, and help us reach that next level of challenges we would face. The staff at our college has given us the tools that we need for success. Our resource center has helped us find business clothes, helped us write that resume, practice interviews, and get us ready for the job to come. And when challenges do come our way, which they will, we have responsible and resource people here, still at our campus, ready to help us with whatever comes our way. If we need more support by pursuing a different career or learning new tools in the trade, our campus is still here. So graduates, stand tall, not just today, but every day. We are not our 5'6" or 6'7" height like me today. Oh no, we are much taller, ready to take whatever comes our way, turning it into that next success, whether it be our career or in our life. So good luck. You're ready. We can do this. Stand tall. Thank you.
Thank you, Darren. At this time, I would like to ask Jim Lemeron, Vice President of Instruction, to the podium.
Thank you, Victor. So many of the 188 eligible candidates are attending today's ceremony. Students who received program honors with grade point averages between 3.5 and 3.9 are wearing honor medallions with a white ribbon. Students who received presidential honors with a 4.0 GPA are wearing honor medallions with a gold ribbon. Students who are members of Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society are designated by a gold stole. We also recognize today's student graduates who have served in the armed forces with a red, white, and blue cord, and we thank them for their service. Our candidates have been led and inspired by excellent faculty and staff through rigorous courses of study in preparation for their bright new futures. A very sincere thank you to all of our faculty and staff across the college, all of whom have contributed in part to the successes of our graduates. And to you graduates, an enthusiastic congratulations for your admirable achievements today. Please join me in recognizing their accomplishments with a round of applause. It is now time to present the candidates. Will all the candidates please rise and remain standing? President Carlson, upon recognition of the faculty and council of the deans from the advanced manufacturing, agriculture, automotive, and energy, the apprenticeship, business and technology, general education, health and human services, and public safety divisions, and as the Vice President of Instruction, it is my honor to present the candidates for conferral of the degrees and technical diplomas.
By the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I now confer upon you the appropriate degrees and diplomas with all rights, privileges, and responsibilities here and everywhere appertaining.
Will the first row of graduates please approach the stage? All other graduates may be seated at this time.
Business Management Associate Degree, Darren Menk. Advanced Manufacturing and Engineering, Electromechanical Technology Associate Degree, Jacob Lesperance. Machine Tool Operation Technical Diploma, Jennifer Michael. Mechanical Computer Aided Drafting Technical Diploma, David Aguirre Cobos. Mechanical Design Technology Associate Degree, Auto Maintenance Technician Technical Diploma, Dan Kelly. Mechanical Design Technology Associate Degree, Cy Lee. Welding Industrial Technical Diploma, David Four. Nathan Genske. Roger Henke. Samson Jose. Matthew Johnson. Mason Nye. Sean Pertel. Sydney Theobald. Jericho Valenta. Agriculture, Energy, and Automotive, Agribusiness, Science, and Technology Associate Degree, Melanie Rareborn. Auto Collision Repair Technical Diploma, Travis Steindl. Sustainable Landscape Horticulture Associate Degree, Leobardo Aguilar. Christine Pat. Mickey Bernache. Apprenticeship Division Technical Studies Journey Worker Associate Degree, Jeremy Raymond Kriego. Alex Dietrich. Technical Studies Journey Worker Associate Degree, Lean Manufacturing Processes Associate Degree, Joel Mentick. Business and Technology, Accounting Associate Degree, Neil Dahmer. Administrative Professional Associate Degree, Cynthia Lopez. Business Management Associate Degree, Tiffany Groshish. Cassandra Janty. Nicole Klauk. Heather Kupch. Brian Luloff. Samantha Tao. Court Reporting Associate Degree, Mariah Camera. Meredith Seymour. Culinary Arts Associate Degree, Rodney Schultz. Graphic and Web Design Associate Degree, Kao Moa. Human Resource Administration Associate Degree, Denise Danielle Eswin. Business Management Associate Degree, Human Resource Administration Associate Degree, Jennifer Maitland. Mallory Mata. Jessica Smith. Linda Zhang. IT Computer Support Specialist, Associate Degree, David Colin Berkey. Barth Lindeman. IT Network Specialist, Associate Degree, Tim Rash. Elizabeth Marie Weavers. IT Web and Software Developer, Associate Degree, John Sherwin. Joy. Manufacturing Management Associate Degree, Joy Cavan. Paralegal Associate Degree, Danielle Yeager. Quality Process Improvement Technical Diploma, Cassandra Rocky. Supply Chain Management Associate Degree, Rebecca Hines. Health and Human Services, Dental Assistant Technical Diploma, Brittany Kirkeep. Kara Henning. Melissa Molly Caston. Brianna Meyer. Roxella Trevino. April Zhang. Early Childhood Education Associate Degree, Danielle Becker. Kristen Heimerl. Kimberly Knack. Ashley Shoti. Not bad. Health Information Management Associate Degree, Asari Alzata. Medical Assistant, Technical Diploma, Irma Hussein. Linda Lee. Tanya Nenning. Amber Preston. Casey Villani. Medical Coding Specialist, Technical Diploma, Sandra Madsen. Abby Quashus. Dakota Ross. Nursing Associate Degree, Sheila Bayer. Carly Daney. Kevin Gomini. Margaret Jaworski. Kayla Kiefer. Haley Kretsch. Yua Lee. Anthony Liskawa. Trisha Ann Peterson. Hannah Pfeffer. Ashley Rick. Rebecca Stout. Devin Weber. Joanna Wolf. Panu Zhang. Pharmacy Technician Technical Diploma, Kayla Bass. Hina Suhil Khan. Chua Yang. Radiography Associate Degree, Derek Brill. Brian Castillo. Sarah Copps. Katie Dobson. Morgan Melikar. Cassandra Mogensen. Trevor Novak. Jacob Pruka. Michaela Wright. Emily Terry. Sabrina Vasquez. Public Safety. Emergency Medical Technician Paramedic Technical Diploma, Larry Killian. Fire Medic Associate Degree, Allie Lindau. Fire Medic Associate Degree, EMT Paramedic Technical Diploma, Marcos Martinez. Paramedic Technical Associate Degree, Fire Medic Associate Degree, EMT Paramedic Technical Diploma, Nick Ruzek.
All right, graduates, please rise. So nothing's official until it's official, and now it's official. As graduates of Lakeshore Technical College, you may move your tassels from right to left. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Lakeshore Technical class of December 2018. Now, all graduating classes are special, but today marks the first time when our graduating class can say they graduated from this college when it is ranked number 17 in the nation by Forbes, when it is ranked number 3 in the nation by Washington Monthly, and when it is ranked number 9 in the nation by Wallet Hub. There are over 1,100 colleges just like ours all over the country, and you are all graduates of one of the best in the country right here in Cleveland. That's pretty awesome. So graduates, we are all proud of you. Know wherever you go and whatever you do, we will always be here to support you, we will always be cheering you on, and you will always be one of us. Welcome to the rank of alumni. Yeah, I'll give that a round of applause. Why not? There you go. And on that note, I hereby declare this commencement ceremony to be adjourned. Audience, please remain seated for the recessional.